What's up, everybody? This is... Fuck. What is this, Will? This is the Good Anime Palette Podcast.
Oh, good save. Nice.
But do you know what this is, Will? This is the return of After Dark for the first After Dark of Season 5 of the Good Anime Palette Podcast, After Dark 11. This is going to be released theoretically on Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Days to all the lovebirds out there, while all you guys are, being with your 3D waifus or life partners. Will and I decided to now talk about the 2D waifus because, that's what weebs do. I am your co-host, Jason, and this time I am joined, as always, as usual, just like every other time, with Will over here. What's up, bro?
It's good to finally get the ADs back up and running again. I think, how long was it ago that we last recorded an AD? Like an After Dark episode?
I can check right now as we speak, but that was the AD 10 other 10 anime series we recommend, and then we kind of felt like it needed to be rejiggered, so we kind of used some time to really think about it. But guess what? We are back at it again.
You know what the funny thing is?
What?
Exactly 1 year ago, we recorded a waifu After Dark. February 2022.
What? Really?
87.
The yandere, bro.
The waifu Best Girl War. We recorded that and then released it the day after Valentine's Day.
No. So, Will, what you're trying to say is we knew that this was going to happen all along. We were just trying to play dumb, play the fool, to educate and reinitiate the listeners.
Your brain is so smooth, Jason. You managed to
You said this several times. Is smooth brain really a good thing?
Think about how many wrinkles you have in your brain when you smooth it all out. That's just like streamlined, high octane, beyond galaxy brain thinking.
So I am not 100% sure because I actually never checked.
It's memed. I mean, honestly,
No.
I could also be taking that meaning in a completely different direction as well. Maybe being a smooth brain actually isn't a good thing.
Yeah, because smooth brain means you have less brain matter, which therefore means you have less connections between the neurotransmitters, or at least you can argue that which then means you're stupid.
Man, you're debunking the meme. Look at that.
Or maybe it is what you say. It's just you're
smooth,
you're suave,
you're just
right?
using pure science as well to explain the meme too. And if it's to go by your definition, then sorry, I didn't mean to call you dumb.
Well, I am pretty dumb, but
But we're going to be going into a super intellectual discussion today because, as mentioned, since we are releasing this as part of Valentine's Day, we're going to be talking about some more waifus, some more best girls.
But before that, Will, smooth brain means a stupid person because it refers to the lack of surface area on an individual's brain, because the more surface area, wrinkles, creases, etc. that a brain has, the smarter the person is.
Oof. I'm sorry. Did not mean to call you a doof. But
enough about that, because Will and I, we patch things up.
We've moved past now. We've gone past our little
diatribe preamble, because we will now go straight into our first AD topic of season 5, AD 11. And just so happens that AD 11, if you are into your sort of Chinese holidays, 11/11 is known as Singles Day, but we're doing the polar opposite of that because we're releasing this on Valentine's Day. Part 2 of the GAP Rose Rumble, also known as the Waifu War, has now commenced.
So the last time I think we were just... Did we do like a Dere focused Rose Rumble last time?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. So
you did Kudere's, I did Yandere's, because we wanted to do each other's favorite Dere type.
Yeah. But and then when I proposed that we do the tsundere
Fuck
and
that noise.
and dandere one.
That just sounds boring, bro.
Yeah, it would end up just being like, which one is like the least hated tsundere that you can tolerate?
No, it's like which one is the most passive aggressive, because that's the most tsundere, and then which one is the most bubbly, which is the most dandere, and then I'm just like, well, then that's not an interesting conversation.
Yeah, I feel like if you start talking about like passive aggressive tsunderes, like you're just moving into kudere territory at that point.
And I don't really want to talk about that. What was that name of that? Yeah,
Nagatoro?
Nagatoro-san.
Yeah.
No.
No. We must never say that name. That name must never be spoken on this podcast.
But listeners, you might be wondering, well, then what is the topic for the second GAP Rose Rumble? And I'm here to bestow upon you this knowledge of Will and I's individual top 10 anime moms. So that's in contention. And listeners, if you think that, hey, shouldn't you release this on Mother's Day? Yeah, but also we make the rules, so sorry. But
that
not
and
sorry.
also, like, you know, if we do release it on Mother's Day, then it would essentially have to be a lot more wholesome, right? And not to say that we are going to go completely like degen mode on this, but
there'll be a mixture, bro.
It'll be a mixture. So that's why we don't want to just like, you know, release, you know, this on one of the most like wholesome like days of the year. So we don't want to like just straight up degen Mother's Day. That would be rude.
Just to give you a rough idea, my birthday's in the month of November. If you minus a certain number of months, you might realize that that number would get you into February. So Valentine's Day, kids, guys. So therefore, we have the ability, the liberty to be a bit degen, is what I'm saying. So, Will...
I actually didn't think about that.
Yeah,
Damn.
You didn't know that? Damn.
I knew your birthday was in November, but I was just like, what are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. If you just reverse engineer that, it's like, But okay, let's go.
I was a child of summer lovin' because I'm in March. So
there you go. When spring has sprung and the seed has blossomed and bloomed into a newborn William Wong.
Are we going to start this topic or what?
So let's start the tradition of the GAP, the thing that we are most well known for, Will, and that is disclaimers.
Goddamn.
And definitions.
I know y'all hate this shit, but like, or maybe you like it, but either way, like we have to do it because
we lay down the ground rules so you guys don't at us for every single thing that
what we're saying is going to be controversial to some, or you know, people are going to, you know, pick apart what we say and be like, no, you're completely wrong. Like, we don't agree with what your opinion is on this particular mom. You got this whole list all fucked up. Like,
but if you saw season 6, then you would really understand that your opinion is invalid. But
yes,
okay,
it's like there's so many like characters to go over in the whole landscape of anime that like to just talk about 10 of them on both sides, like it just
plus honorable mentions. But yes,
even then, right, like if you throw it, let's say like we have like a total of 20 each, even, right, like that's still like such a small amount of possible characters you can talk about. So clearly what we're going to say isn't going to sit pretty with some people. That's why we have to do these disclaimers, to make it so that we are not trying to make this as comprehensive. This is not like a de facto list. This is just how we feel in this very moment and all the weeks that we had planned this prior to the recording. So, hey, like, also, don't shoot us for it.
Also, it just shows like we actually try to factor in as much of these due diligence as we can. So, it might be stupid to say this, but the list is subjective based on Will and my opinion. Please don't at us, say we're wrong, which is what Will just mentioned. Obviously, as Will also mentioned, it is not comprehensive. We didn't watch every single anime under the sun to be able to give you the most definitive list ever created. But this list is definitive as of this recording for the both of us. We'll likely have our list shifted here and there, but we're trying to get you the best definitive list as, like, you know, prior to recording. Also, we will try our very best to avoid spoilers, but if it does come up, we will sort of maybe have like a couple of seconds of like silence or break, and we definitely will timestamp it or something, just to like let you know. So then if you really don't want to know, you can avoid it, because the last thing we want to do is to ruin it for you, so then you don't watch or talk or appreciate the shows that we mentioned on this list.
Yeah, we might even throw in like a spoiler tag in the timestamps, just so that, you know, if you see there's a spoiler coming up, then you can just skip that part and move to the next one. Or up to you, right? Like sometimes people don't really care too much about spoilers. Just listen to the whole damn thing.
So our list is broken down into 2 parts: the bottom 5 and the top 5. It's not really ranked per se.
Yeah, it's more just like for formatting issues,
right?
Really.
But for me personally, my bottom 5 is lesser,
like
quote unquote, lesser.
Interchangeable, right? Like the 10th ranked one could, you know, eventually become like the 6th and whatnot.
Yeah,
but like when you start getting to the latter stage, right? The top 3,
5,
those
top 3, yeah.
Those tend to be a bit more like fixed in their position, and it would require quite a lot of controversy or character developments to shift those positions.
All right, now that the disclaimers are out of the way, let's go into the second part that we are known for, the definitions, which is also very simple.
What's an anime mom, dude?
An anime mom is a 2D fictional character, usually animated, okay? And what is the dictionary definition of mom or mother?
Man, I can't believe we have to go through this.
The web, it's simple. Look, listen, I'm not going to bore you on this. Moms, it's just like we basically split. I don't know about you, Will, but for me, my criterias can be split into 3 broad categories, okay? The MILF, basically mature sex appeal; mother, like maternal instincts and affection; and like a spouse, basically romantic attraction. That's really how I based off of all my choices. What about you?
Mine are just moms that like I like, really. I'll probably go into more detail as to why I like them. Some may be more onto the whole wholesome, like motherly, affectionate kind of choice. The other ones might just be a bit more like, you know why I picked this one. You know, like, you know why. So
there might be some doujinshis. There might be some
might be.
There might be.
Bro, I'm pretty sure every single one of my characters
has been
maybe one
Rule
of them,
34.
Well, actually, no. There's a couple that like if you do a Jinji of them, like the fuck is wrong with you? That's fucked up.
Okay. Well, then let's start with your number 10 pick, essentially.
My number 10 pick, and again, I think like Jason has a more sort of like fixed idea of which moms rank in which areas. Mine's a bit more free flow. I never really think about like, oh, this is like top tier mom, whatnot.
Because you're too smooth brained, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
I smoothed out like my whole ass brain just to, you know, put this list together. I think I just threw a bunch of names and then decided, you know what, I'll go talk about this.
Well, who cares? These are anime moms. They're all fucking awesome. We love all of them, right?
Yeah. So the first one, well, the 10th that I wanted to talk about here is Sanae Furukawa from Clannad, specifically Clannad After Story. Essentially plays as the mother of one of the main characters in the After Story part of Clannad. The reason why I picked her is because this is the more like motherly, affectionate pick. It's just clear that if you wanted to have like a good example of a parent in anime, and you know that like in terms of being a parent in anime, goddamn, your job is absolutely fucking hard. But Sanae is wholesome, sweet, caring, loves to make bread. That's something I like. You know.
So she's not the breadwinner, but she likes to bake, right?
Well, to be fair, the family runs a bakery, so she is a.
Then she better be good at fucking baking.
She is a breadwinner. To be fair,
does she shake and bake it though?
Not much shaking, not much. I wouldn't put her in that kind of. Dude, that's fucked up. She's. Come on, man. This is the wholesome pick. Don't shake and bake, Sanae.
So
you need to get around to watch. You know, I no. I'm not forcing you to watch Clannad because I know why you don't want to get into watching it.
I don't want to break down in a depressive state for like 3 weeks. I will not stand for people shitting on Clannad and Clannad After Story. Maybe Clannad a bit.
I get it because it's like a whole 25 episodes of why am I even watching this? It's not that the score is bad or anything. It actually is like a pretty decent anime. But then you have to watch a whole damn season just to get to the good part. And After Story is like fully worth your time for sure. So to watch the whole thing all together, I'm glad I did it because it's just one of those things like, wow, Clan After Story is super highly ranked on my anime list, but like, why is the first like why is the first part like so low in comparison? But yeah, it's just because After Story has some of the more wholesome, but also very tragic stories in there too. So yeah, so just back on Sanaya, she's compassionate, reliable, kind. And I think just like the whole like story that develops throughout after the whole story that develops during After Story, she's just a pillar.
After Story or during After Story.
There is an After Story to After Story as well. Remember, this is all based off a visual novel too. So depending on which route you go, there is a before story and after story, and then after the After Story, there's another After Story.
Spoilers.
How's that?
Not really.
How's that a spoiler?
I'm trolling.
People damn know well that like with a fucking visual novel, there's never just one ending.
Yeah, and you're not really revealing any plot points. So yeah, that's completely fair. So that is your number 10th pick, right?
Yep.
So my number 10th pick is based off of the novel of the same name by Tomihiko Morimi. Oh yeah, the writer for Tatami Galaxy. I forgot about that. The anime premiered in summer of 2013. There are 2 seasons, both produced by PA Works. I watched it for my 3rd cleanup, I think. The anime is the eccentric family, and it is none other than the mom raccoon known as Tosen Shimogamo. And the thing that I like the most about this character is several things. First of all, she is definitely the more affectionate type, the more caring type. And when you are the mom that has to juggle between like several of your sons all having different characters and personalities and just causing hijinks, and you just need to like get shit together and get your own shit together, and then also have a persona that is somehow really good at playing pool, like billiards. It's kind of cool. It's kind of dope.
We're not going to be doing this where it's like the bottom 5 are the wholesome, affectionate moms, and then the top 5 are the ones we want to bang. That's silent.
Not that far off, but yeah. Of course. Well, there is no connection of that sort.
That's silent. That silence is telling.
Nothing of that sort. Will, but Mother Raccoon is pretty dope. You know, she's also afraid of lightning. That's kind of like a thing, and I thought that was kind of cute and kind of like gotta protect her at all cost type thing. So she's my number 10th pick.
Nice. Okay. Straight off the wholesome one. I've got another wholesome one to choose, actually. Number 9. I got Kobayashi from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that checks out. That actually checks out. That checks out.
In the sense, of course, she's not like actually like the mother of the
it's a surrogate mother, though.
Yeah.
It's a surrogate mother.
Exactly. So she
not evil stepmom, though. Yeah. Surrogate
mother. She does provide that, like, she provides the shelter, the love, the care, the education, teaching these dragon maids to actually act a little bit more in their human forms and not, disrupt normal society. And, I mean, she's a fucking weeb, dude. Well, weeb? Otaku?
No, not really. It's her coworker is more of the weeb idol.
True. Actually, yeah, no, you're right. No, that guy is.
She's just like
hardcore. She's just a cosplayer,
kind of boring-ish, but I want to have a family, and I'm level-headed, and I'm really good at programming.
She's extremely vanilla for sure, but that's not necessarily a bad thing in this case because it was with all the insanity that happens throughout Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. It's actually nice to see someone who is a little bit more calm, relaxed, laid back, and actually be able to take in the insanity that is of like these super powerful dragons that could destroy all of Japan in one go.
But don't get us wrong, listeners. Kobayashi-san is fucking badass because despite, living with these mythical, crazy, powerful beings, she also stands up to them. That's the crazy thing, too. And stands up to these people or creatures or forces that can really fuck shit up and fuck her up.
Yeah, she don't take no shit, for
but
sure.
she's like, on principle, or when push comes to shove, I'm going to fight for the people I love and care about, regardless of whatever happens or whatever I'm up against. And that is a sure tell sign of a protector and definitely a surrogate mother. So I actually forgot about her. My bad on that.
I mean, again, right? Like, we're only choosing 10 characters. Like, how are you going to... There are so many that, like, I feel bad about leaving out, but I have to, just because of the format of the recording.
Do you know what series I also forgot for a long, long time? And I kind of remembered now.
Is that the one you picked for your 9th
Yes.
anime mom?
Yeah.
What's the series?
Do you remember a show called Naruto, Will? Do you remember that there was a show about ninjas and that ran for a long time called Naruto? But actually, I'm not talking about Naruto, actually. I am talking about Boruto, which is based off of the manga of the same name by Mikio Ikemoto, who did the art, and Yuko Kodachi, who did the story. The anime is produced by Studio Pierrot since spring of 2017.
You're fucking kidding, right? You picked Hinata?
Hinata Hyuga is my 9th pick for best top 10 moms. Let me explain why. You have to understand the growth and development that Hinata was in Naruto Shippuden, and then now Boruto. And I hated Hinata. Like, really. Like, I'm not to say, like, I hated her with a vengeance, but I understand, like, her archetype, and it's a good, very good archetype of that sort. It's just, like, personal biases aside, right? And I'm just like, okay, she's learning, growing up, whatnot. And when she finally grows the fuck up and becomes a mom, badass ensues. Just takes no shit. Just actually, like, just matures the fuck up. And I kind of dig it. Especially when you're... I don't know if I want to say that, but let's say Naruto, right? Your family just handles everything like a mom would, but also have the grace and warmth that past Hinata would have, but also those eyes, man.
Have you watched any of Boruto?
I watched YouTube clips just to confirm my suspicion, and I'm pretty sure that that's my suspicion.
Okay, because they did the biggest disservice to her by making her absolutely useless in Boruto.
Well, yeah, but she's like a mom.
Oh, is that... Do you really want to go out and say that?
No.
That because she became a mom, that's why she's useless?
No.
God damn, man.
Sakura's useless.
Jason.
Sakura's
This is
useless.
someone's mom you're talking about.
I'm sorry, Boruto. But I tell you what, your mom's pretty badass, in my opinion.
I thought you were going to say your mom's pretty hot.
She's also pretty hot. Sure. I'll say that.
I mean, no, it is a good pick, though, because she needs to keep the family together because of how shit a father Naruto is, despite being an awesome Hokage.
Oh, spoilers there, too. Oh, fuck. Oh, wow. Oh, no. Wow. As if you didn't see that coming from a fucking mile away.
Yeah, Naruto's still a piece of shit.
Wait, did you know that Boruto is Naruto's son? Spoilers.
Yeah. It's also named for a food, too.
Really?
Burrito. Do you know what the name for Sakura's daughter is? Sarada, for salad.
Listen, look. I watched YouTube clips so I can watch the bare minimum to reach a level of understanding and comprehension, okay? I didn't want to watch a lot of it at all.
People are getting hyped about it, though. It seems to be that, like, it's starting to, quote-unquote, get good. But, again, like, I've already watched, like, everything from the beginning of Naruto through to Shippuden. I don't need to, like, do Naruto 2.0. So, sorry, Boruto fans.
Bleach, on the other hand, though, we might go into 1,000-Year Blood War, but that's a separate thing. Okay,
well, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I need to catch up on before I even get to that arc. So, that whatever. I don't know if I will. You can go for it.
Have you seen my on hold list, Will? But you should not put on hold the number 8th pick. So what you? Oh, number 9. Sorry. What you got? Uh-oh.
Number 9? I already did number 9. Kobayashi.
Oh fuck! God damn it, Jason. Okay, every time I need to have a blunder, so then we're good. Okay, now we're good.
Number 8.
Number 8.
This is also a classic anime. It's not super classic. It does have 2 versions. One which is the regular version, and one which is the Brotherhood version. Izumi Curtis.
Who's this character?
Izumi Curtis, who is the one where she's an alchemist, lost her son or her child, tries to do the whole equal exchange thing, ends up
the law of equivalent exchange. Yes,
ends up losing her organs.
Yes,
and essentially is not necessarily like a surrogate mother, but like acts as like a motherly figure too.
It's like a kung fu master, but more basically, right? To the 2 brothers. Because she actually genuinely cares almost like a mom would towards these 2. Like, she treats him as her own son.
It's tough love, but at the same time, like, she does it because like she doesn't want them to get picked on. And in the world of Fullmetal Alchemist, it's a tough world. It's you could die for a lot less, and she doesn't want the 2 brothers to go out and like just get smoked. So one of the trainings was like literally like, here's a knife. Survive in the woods for a night. Bye.
Well, it's not a night. It's like a week, right, or something.
It was a week, yeah. But yeah, so basically it's just like just threw them out in the wilderness and then come back when you're done.
Have fun, right? One thing I will say about her is that her loving romance with her husband is kind of super wholesome.
It's so cute.
It's so wholesome, which is really funny because when you see the husband's like demeanor and appearance, you're just like, okay, this guy's gonna fuck me up. But no, he's actually like quite lovey-dovey and like, quite fluffy kind of person. So I like that pick a lot. It didn't make my cut though, so it's unfortunate.
There's a part where like I think okay, spoiler, but it's been so long, you must have watched it. There's a part where Izumi fights greed, and during that fight she screams at him, "I'm a fucking housewife." And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, you're gonna fucking beat this guy's ass. Oh my god, I fucking love Izumi. It's like her role as like the mother, the tutor, the guardian of Alphonse and Elric.
Yeah, I think guardian is the most appropriate term I can think of.
It was born out of tragedy, right? Like she lost her child, they lost their mom,
all for doing the same thing.
And so they have that shared connection. Like it's like basically like desperation and an act to try and bring their loved ones back, but ending up like making like the biggest mistakes in their lives, and they have to pay for it. So that's why that little support network in this kind of artificial family, it's just really wholesome to watch in such a fucked up anime.
Also because the fact that her organs are removed means that she is quite frail in some ways, despite being very powerful
and no longer able to bear children.
And she still decides to do all the things that she does in the anime is very heroic and very motherly and caring of sorts, for sure. All right, well, it's time to go back to school, though.
What, school days?
My Hero Academia.
God damn. I cut her out immediately, but okay, go for it.
Inko Midoriya, which is the mom of Deku. It is very simple. When I was thinking about all the moms in the pantheon of anime, what came to mind, one of the things that came to mind, was the very first episode of My Hero Academia Season 1. And the amount of emotions that Mommy Deku had to go through, or you can just see the look that she really feels for Deku's kind of predicament in the very, very beginning of My Hero Academia. And she just really loves her son. That's simply it. And she is just like not very powerful in the grand scheme of things, but she is probably one of the most powerful moms, such that it has made my top 10. And you don't underestimate a person's love, regardless of their quirks or not, or their powers or not.
She was a very wholesome mother. I don't know. I feel like in comparison to the ones that I have on my list, she just didn't even make honorable mentions. But I can understand like why people. I mean, you hear the rest of them, you'll understand why. Again, this is a very hard list to put together.
Yeah, I mean, I also think like the Full Metal Alchemist pick and Kobayashi was extremely solid picks that I actually forgot or like wasn't even really within like my radar. So yeah, to each their own, right?
Very much so. Number 7 for me was excuse me, quite straightforward. Because as soon as it wasn't so much that like I found a loophole, because this actually is like a real mom. I had to go with Shiki from Garden of Sinners. Now you're probably wondering, well, I watched a whole damn thing. When the hell did she become a? If you watched Part 9, Mirai Fukuin, she does have a daughter called Mana.
Yes.
And the thing is, it's like that's the only reason why she's in the list. She doesn't really show any like characteristics of being a mother at all throughout the series. Like
but you hear Mana talk about her mom a lot.
Yeah, but I'm not here to talk about Mana, right? Like, okay,
No.
yeah, I'm here giving my perspective of Shiki as a mother, and not what I think Mana like sees in her mother.
Yeah, because she has heavy biases towards her mom.
Exactly, right? Like you don't go against your mom. I mean, dude, like it's Shiki, right? You say anything bad about her, she'll fuck you up.
Probably not, right? With the daughter.
To be fair, like the more we watched Shiki like throughout Garden of Sinners, it's just very clear from the first couple parts, right? Especially parts 1 through 4. It's just like this woman's just relentless, just straight
stone cold blooded killer.
Then you watch part 5.
Oh God,
which was, oh my God, like what? Probably one of the best. Can you even call it an episode?
No, because it's a fucking movie.
Yeah.
We're talking about part 5, the spiral paradox or something.
Such a fucking good part. Oh my God.
I'm telling you,
Like,
that movie is a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, top 5 of all time for me, for sure. So that's why it's like we may do like more specific like episode / movie analyses in the future. Spiral Paradox would definitely feature in one of those episodes for sure. Like I don't necessarily mind like chilling or talking about this like more, just because we've talked about Garden of Sinners multiple times. And I know it's super hard to get your hands on it because it doesn't stream. We were lucky to be able to get DVDs for them, but
do you remember DVDs, listeners? We do, because we used it.
Do you know what a CD drive is, listeners?
Do you know what an MD drive is?
Okay,
an MD player is?
Now we're getting into some real niche territory. Damn, MDs. Oof. I never actually used one. I had an MD player, but I never actually bought mini discs.
I did, though.
Were they called mini discs or media discs?
Mini discs.
Okay,
because they're a disc that is smaller than a CD.
Yeah, smaller. Well, yeah. So mini is smaller than compact.
Compact is larger. Because compact disc is CDs.
Yes.
Mini disc is smaller.
But is there a difference between being compact and mini? Would you separate it from the disc format?
I don't know, Will. But
So,
since we're
yeah.
going back in time, I have decided to stay in 1989 to 1996, probably one of the most well-known animes and mangas of all time, which is based off of the manga series by Akira Toriyama. My number 7th pick comes from Dragon Ball anime, which is Dragon Ball Z, produced by Toei Animation. Android 18 is my number 7th pick for top 10 moms, for very simple and great reasons. Number 1, Kudere. Is Android 18 a Kudere? Done deal.
Moving on to the next pick.
No, fuck it. You got to give me this platform, bro. Does she have a redemption arc? Check. Does she have an actual relationship with another character, and that spans the test of time? Check. Does she actually develop somewhat of a personality and mellows the fuck out? Also loves her daughter to shiznits? Check. So, what else is there to say? Will, what else is there to say?
I'm not saying anything now.
Exactly. That's right. I just really like Android 18. Probably my favorite Dragon Ball Z character besides Trunks. Yeah.
Not Piccolo?
No.
Not Vegeta?
No.
Not Cell?
No.
I'm just throwing out all the other names. I have not watched Dragon Ball in a long fucking time.
Yeah, I mean, I those are like my Android 18 favorite character of all time. Fight me. In Dragon Ball Z, I mean.
No, I'm not fighting you at all. I'm staying away from Dragon Ball. So rounding off the bottom 5, and
we're going through this fast.
This is a travesty on my side, actually.
Oh fuck.
Because she doesn't make a top 5, unfortunately. And her life itself is a travesty too. Goddamn. We gotta talk about Violet Evergarden.
Fuck you. I knew this was coming.
Clara Magnolia.
Okay,
her story was again. Spoilers. 5, 4, 3. 2,
No. It's episode 10. Just watch episode 10. We don't want to spoil it. Right? Episode 10. Just watch it.
Bro,
it's great.
This series came out like 5 years ago.
But it's great, bro.
People know about Violet Evergarden now.
We have people that we know that have yet to watch Violet Evergarden.
Well, that's too bad because this is my podcast and your podcast. I want to do what I want to do.
Okay, so count down from 5.
I counted 5 already. Now you are deep in spoiler territory. If you're still listening to this, you already know this is spoiler territory. So, a little bit of history. Clara came from a very wealthy family.
Okay, yeah.
Raised as an elite woman, has a daughter named Anne. Fortunately,
no, Anne.
Clara, Anne Magnolia.
No. It's just Anne, and then Anne, Tanjobi omedetou, and then Anne. Oh, how old are you now? Oh, 18 歳. Oh, Anne. Oh wait, what's happening to me? Oh, I can't see the screen because there's tears coming down my cheeks.
So Clara's part in episode 10 was she essentially hires Violet to write letters for her, to send over to Anne. Now, Anne has no idea what those letters are. It's a very sort of distant family dynamic because
I mean,
tough shit.
We're spoiling it, right?
Yeah.
So basically, Anne thinks that her mom, when she is really young, is abandoning her to write all these letters for fucking weeks on end, and is not spending time to play with her despite being sick, but she doesn't really have a good idea of how sickly she is. Turns out it's terminal. And then it turns out, Will, since you mentioned it, would you do the honors of the reveal?
Yeah. So basically, Anne just no, fuck you, I hate you. Why are you spending so much time working on this? And as any mother would, they would just put down the work and, caress their daughter and, calm them down. Instead, no, she decides that she needs to finish this work no matter what until the day she dies. And Anne just basically does a lot of self-blame. Also blames her mother for working so hard for nothing. And luckily, Violet being there, the emotionless robot that she is, actually manages to calm her down, letting her know that, this death was through no one's fault, that unfortunately things happen for a reason. And, Anne manages to calm down. Then she starts opening the letters and finding out that throughout this whole time, Clara had been asking Violet to write letters for her for the next 50 years over her birthday, just so that even though she's not there, she knows that the mother is watching over her no matter what, and then ensue the tears because, goddamn.
And then Violet Evergarden breaks down finally at the very end of that episode, and it is just the most heartbreaking, emotional kind of just, I don't know, I'm just thinking about it. It's just getting me all worked up, and I just... Do you remember the name of that episode, Will?
What is there weren't letters in there, right?
Nope.
No.
It means a loved one will always watch over you, episode 10.
Yeesh.
And that title card shows up at the very end. And it is just like... It's just really good. This is... I think Violet Evergarden episode 10 is probably one of the best singular episodes I've watched in my entire anime career. And probably forever, honestly. When you go Violet Evergarden episode 10 to people and they get it,
you just cry.
You just cry. and then you hug each other and cry. That's really it.
But it is a tragedy, right? The fact that even for me, I couldn't put Clara in my top 5.
But she is in my top 5. She's number 5.
Okay.
So fuck you, Will.
I mean, it
Close enough.
It took this long for us to actually have a crossover, right?
Yeah.
My 4 picks and then your 4 picks, nothing crossed over yet. I'm kind of actually interested to see what your sixth pick is now.
My 6th pick is based off of the light novel series of the same name by Yuyuko Takemiya, who did the story, and Yasu, who did the art. Series is licensed in English by Seven Seas Entertainment. The anime premiered in fall 2008. JC staff. It is Yasuko Takasu from Toradora, the mom of Toradora. So, let me break it down. When a tragedy happens within the family and you need to take care of your child, you will do whatever it fucking takes. Even if you have to do things that are, let's say, a bit, not great. And when your education, your level of education and qualifications are also not great, what can you do?
I mean, her situation of becoming a mother was born out of a really terrible situation. So she kind of got forced into it.
Right. And then on top of that, you do really love your child. And you also want to spend time.
Ryuji, is it?
Yeah. So you do want to spend time. And just the sheer amount of effort that Mommy Takasu does is just very, very commendable. It's like hero mom or hero, parental heroism. And there is a scene that I remember where towards pretty much the very end of Toradora, where she basically does something that is probably not a good thing to do, let's just say. And it is this wealth of emotion because leading up to that, you kind of understood why. You may not agree with it, but at least you could be like, well, shit. It's just a really shitty situation, but she's also very charismatic throughout the whole series, and just her bubbly personality, her caring heart, it's just really nice. And she's just a woman out of circumstances decides to woman the fuck up and be a mom and try her very best to provide for her children. How can you not love someone like that?
And we got some really wholesome picks for the first 5 each. I thought about it, but then it's also because I haven't finished Toradora, so it was kind of hard for me to throw her into the mix.
Yeah, and I didn't want to say the spoiler because I know you haven't finished it. So
yeah,
yep.
But I mean, I know enough, and again, it's like even if you spoiled this for me, it's fine. But I understand you don't want to spoil it for the listeners.
Yeah.
So, shall we go into a break, or should we just go full steam ahead and talk about some more moms?
So we don't have a break, is what you're saying?
No, I'm asking if you want to have a break.
Well, should we put a break just to order food?
Yeah, let's do that, actually. Yeah, why not? We'll have a lunch break, and then we'll go into the top 5 anime moms for Jason and I. It's gonna be tough. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a lot of crossovers for this part.
I'm pretty sure as well.
At the very least 2. Because, I mean, there's already been 1. So on top of the one...
I would say... okay, so...
I'm not making any bets here.
Okay, no, I'm not making any bets here, and we can't see each other's list, okay? So my number 5 was Clara from Violet Evergarden, right? So technically there's only 4 more, right?
Yep.
I would say there's a very good chance that 3 of the 4 is going to be the same. Not in the same position, but the same.
I'd say 2.
Okay.
But close enough.
Let's figure it out when we get there.
And we'll figure out for lunch as well. We'll catch you guys
Sushi,
later.
right?
Yeah, sushi. Welcome back to the second half of today's After Dark episode for the Good Anime Palette podcast. We just finished our lunch. Hopefully you also had your lunch or dinner or breakfast or whatever it may be. But yeah, it's still Will, still Jason. How are you doing, my guy?
The salmon sushi is pretty dope.
We had a lot of salmon. A lot of salmon. It was just funny that like when they brought it back, it was just a whole, like literal a whole like palette of fucking sushi rolls, and all of them were just salmon. The thing was heavy as well. It was at least like 2, maybe even 3 pounds of just sushi rolls. But very, very enjoyable.
It was very enjoyable, but what is going to be even more enjoyable is us rounding out our top 10 list, and also honorable mentions as well, but would be now our top 5 anime moms. So, as we mentioned before, these are not necessarily in order, although the top 5, and for me at least the top 3, are kind of in order. So, Will, do you want to go for it? Actually, because here's the thing. Your number 6 pick was the Violet Evergarden lady.
Clara Magnolia, which is your number 5.
Right. So we've harped on that and kind of talked a lot about it before the break. So maybe you should go with your...
nothing's changed in terms of our opinion, right? Like, just because yours is 5th, mine's 6th, like, she's still a great mom.
Also, it's like technically right next to each other in terms of placement, right? So it is really the same shit, different day, best possible way type kind of deal. So, yeah, I agree. She's pretty dope.
This is going to be the hard part now, because now we have 5, and like there's going to be 1 or 2 names that are missing from this list that like you're probably going to be wondering, what the fuck? Why did you leave that person out?
Wait, so the listener saying what the fuck, or I'm saying what the fuck?
Probably you too. It could go either way, right? I mean, like, I know there's going to be some characters that you don't have on your list. I'm going to be like, bro, Jason, why did you leave that person out?
Dude, I was kicking myself over the Fuma Alchemist pick and the Kobayashi pick. I thought, like, until they didn't cross my mind.
And they're legit good picks as well, right? And I'm happy I have them in my list.
Regrettably, yeah. I should have had it on my list.
Both? I'm sure you... No.
Kobayashi probably would be on that list, but not...
But Izumi would easily
like
make
honorable mention, maybe?
Yeah.
Probably, likely. So,
again, because I didn't have these like listed in order, I kind of just, said a bunch of names, and then hopefully it makes sense where they are.
Are they in the top 10, though?
They're still in the top 10, of course.
Well, there you go.
So the next 5 are kind of like that, though. There's probably going to be like 1, maybe even 2 that like clearly stand out at the top of my list for me. Starting off at number 5, this one I had a quick discussion with you earlier about whether I should or should not have this character in. But I decided to take this person into the list and remove another one out. This is the main character from the movie Wolf Children. We're talking about Hana, one of the greatest moms of all time, really. I only watched this movie, I'd say like 6-7 months ago, or at least like when we were doing that Hosoda episode.
Which one is it, Will?
88.
No.
Which one was it?
6.
Damn it! That was the next one. Was I guess? No, totally wasn't. But yeah.
Do you know which 88 is?
No.
Ghost in the Shell.
Explains why I don't remember it.
Yeah.
Goddamn. Yeah. Okay. But enough about the different ADs we've done in the past. Let's talk more about Hana from Wolf Children. So I didn't expect to have this character on the list in the first place because it was just hard to choose between, like, I had like 15, maybe even 20 to pick from in the first place, and I had to condense it down to 10. But then the more I thought about,
So
like,
you did the Jason rather
yeah,
than the Will.
yeah, no, I just wrote down I literally just wrote down like a bunch of names and said, okay, you make the cut, you make the cut, you make the cut. By the time I got to like the 8th or 9th picks, though, that was when I was just like, oh shit, this is actually like the hard part now.
Yeah,
Like,
there ain't enough room in this parking
it,
lot,
it was
right?
so easy to just pick like 5 or 6 of them, right? But then the 7th pick came, 8th, 9th, and then the last one was like, oh wow, I actually don't have enough space for this character or that character. So I had to start like min-maxing things, like oh, this person did that much and that person did that much, and that's how I ended up just deciding, you know what, let's just put Hana in the list.
So why does Hana make the list, Will?
I think you're starting to find a trend. Okay, and this is obviously another like spoiler, well, spoiler-esque. But she finds herself becoming a mother in the most like unplanned and like unfortunate situations. Literally, just one day decides, to live her life, then finds someone or something, takes it into her care, finds out that she's actually madly in love with them, and they just disappear. Not to say that like, oh, I'm just gonna go grab some milk and never come back. Literally, like
it's game
over.
over.
This love interest ends up meeting their unfortunate, untimely demise, and has left Hana to take care of herself, but also with the 2 children that she bore with this love interest.
Now, the interesting thing with this being from a movie titled Wolf Children is that the children of Hana is not exactly 100% human.
Yep.
They're
evolution, baby.
Well, sure. Therefore, there are certain things, and there's a very kind of scene that, in my mind, is very memorable, but not necessarily because of emotional impact or anything. It's just like parental predicament, where something happens to the children, and she has to figure out where to seek assistance from.
Yep. So she lived her life in like super urban Japan, could not make ends meet, and ends up just deciding, you know what, like, I can't raise myself and my family here. I gotta get the fuck out and just restart all over again. So packs her bags and moves to one of the most rural countrysides in Japan.
Outback.
Straight up just boondock. So yeah.
I remember. Do you remember that like house inspection scene where like the real estate agent was just complaining and being like, "Yeah, you're not gonna like this. It's kind of this, that," and then the opposite look was on Hana's face, like, "This is great. I love it. We'll take it. Fuck yeah."
Do you remember how difficult it was? I think, was it for them getting a refrigerator delivered?
Dude, that was a arc in of itself.
That was, dude, that
was a great arc.
Refrigerator arc was fucking great.
It was legit great. No word of a lie.
But that's like we say all these really mundane things, but that's the kind of extent of Hana trying to get her life together. Like, she needs to go through all these little niggling but like actually like very consequential hurdles that stop her from living her life and stop her children from living like and growing out of their childhood and becoming normal quote unquote citizens of society, because unfortunately her children aren't just regular children, they're
wolf children,
and so therefore it becomes tough for them to find their identity. They don't know in what sense that they're human. They don't know in what sense they're wolf. And more often than not, because of the fact that they're being raised by a single parent household, in this case, Hana, a single mom.
Also, spoiler, she's a human.
Yeah. They just don't really pick up on a lot of social cues. They don't necessarily know like when's the right time to do certain things. And so then you start seeing like 2 different paths. One child who really wants to sort of like connect more with the human side, and another child that's sort of, getting a little bit more wild and breaking away from society and wanting to embrace the wolf side of their being.
Because guess what? This is the cornerstone theme of Mamoru Hosoda in general.
The duality of life.
Right, and Studio Chizu. So, yeah, that kind of slice of life, but literally like a time lapse of progression from the kids growing up to the mom taking care to getting her acclimated and assimilated into the rural life that she now lives, and how she interacts with all the other townspeople is just a journey, a life journey, literally. And
yeah, and like a lot of the picks that you had as well before, with like moms that had taken up the responsibility because of unforeseen or unfortunate events. Hana, like every step of the way, gets dealt a shitty hand. No
Yeah.
matter what. Like, she just can't nail down a job. She can't find a place to stay, so she has to move out to the countryside. And then she has to deal with, like, the wildlife situations that are there. She doesn't know how to grow rice. She doesn't know how to plant vegetables. But then, luckily, there are people in her neighborhood, I guess, in the countryside, that actually offer assistance, either giving them, like, free vegetables or tips on how to, plow the land to be able to grow grains and such. But at the same time, also balancing out how to become a parent and watching over her two rather rebellious children.
Yeah, and I think the other thing to sort of say about Hana in particular is that I don't think she's a very good mother in the very beginning, and maybe even you would argue she's not a very good mother, or she's a better mother but not a very good mother even in the middle of the movie.
She just didn't know how to be a mother.
But she is a very good person. And I think by her being this very good person with like a very good personality and principles and values, she then receives help from other people, or when she encounters problems, she kind of tackles it head on and tries to figure out ways to navigate and solve these issues without getting a handout. Or when it is a handout, she receives it in kind, but then also does something in return.
Returns the favor. And I think it's also that it's that upbeat, that optimistic nature of her that actually kind of contributes to her being a quote-unquote bad mom. Because no matter how bad the situations are, she always finds ways to be rosy or cheerful or look forward to things. Whereas her children are like, no, dude, like, life fucking sucks. Why are you so happy? We're miserable. But the mom is just like, no, like, it's fine. We can make it through this. We can take it to the next step, and we'll be able to live our lives. And it's that clash of that wide-eyed optimism despite living in like poor conditions, and kids who already bear the brunt of the sad reality they live in. I think that's what made the movie like so beautiful. Like, you just constantly see the contrasts of one way of life versus the other, and like front and center of it is Hana, because she literally has to deal with both sides. She has to stay happy, but also deal with the shit that's thrown at her.
And I think this is not just visually a very good-looking movie.
Oh, they
but
all are. All the choosing stuff is really good.
But everything about like the writing, the directing, and sort of just how everything gets pieced together to form a story, except for kind of it ends abruptly. And that's just my personal opinion. I don't know, Will, if you share that opinion as well. I forgot what we said about
I
the movie.
I think the way it ended, it made sense.
It made sense, but it felt like all of a sudden it's like, oh, it just ended.
Yeah, I think like it, but on some aspects it might have felt rushed. It might have felt like, oh, you guys just put together a couple things and this is how you choose to end the story. Like, from a narrative perspective, I can see why they did that. Maybe like they could have spent a little bit more time dealing with like the epilogue a bit more, or actually gave a little more substance to it. But I guess it's the style. I guess it's the style that
I think so.
Hosoda was going for.
And I really love the movie to bits. So yeah, Hana is a top 10 mom for sure, and Will's top 5, number 5th pick. So
it was tough. Like, originally, and okay, I've already said it before. She originally didn't make the cut. But then
so how did she jump from not making the cut to number 5?
Because I balanced out the stuff that she did as a mother in comparison to the other ones. And again, remember that, like, with the way that I had stuff, she didn't necessarily did anything better than the previous 5 I did. It's just like she just happened to be listed here, and I have a lot more things to say about her too. The one that didn't make the cut, I'll go over in the honorable mentions.
Well, I have a lot of things to say about my number 4 pick for top 10 anime moms, but it involves a girl who doesn't really know how to speak. It is the 2016 movie directed by Yoko Yamada, produced by Kyoto Animation. It is Miyako Ishida in a silent voice, the mom for the main male character. So, the best, really, I think, what really solidified this choice in my mind, even though the mom, I think she's a single mom, doesn't play a large role, a very large role within the story, but maybe not in terms of presence, right? I think that is somewhat true. But what really cemented my mind that she is the number 4 is something happens. Let's just say something kind of tragic happens, but ends up being somewhat okay. And the scene takes place at a hospital. And then there was a sequence of events that happen at this hospital, like some kind of arguments and some kind of essentially bowing your head down. And it was that moment really solidified in my mind that this mom is rock solid. Of course, throughout the whole movie previously, she is this mom that is very strong. She's a hairdresser, I think.
Yeah.
And she really takes care of everyone. And it is a mom that understands what her son is going through to a certain extent and deals with stuff in a certain mature way, but also understands that she is not the only parent that exists out there, and she is not the only parent with a child out there that's going through some shit. And just because sometimes you're dealt a shit hand or some shit happened to you or your children does not mean that it's okay for you to act a certain way or for others to act in a certain way towards you. And she is such a strong parental figure. She's my number 4 pick.
It's a very good choice, actually. I thought about it too, but again, it was just hard to fit her in. There are a lot of choices to pick from, and she would easily be an honorable mention. I mean, again, she's another one of those been dealt a shitty hand because she had a shitty husband who decided to leave, and she has to raise 2 kids on her own. We're noticing a trend here, recently divorced or widowed mothers and having to raise children in harsh times. Yeah, being a mom sucks. In anime specifically.
Well, I wouldn't say being a mom sucks, but sometimes being a mom is very hard.
Oh, no, it's very, very hard. God damn. Anime kids do not make things easy for their parents.
Yeah, with their superpowers and crazy maverick,
their rebellious
nature.
Or just straight up being, imagine being the mother of a tsundere. Oosh.
Yeesh. Unless if you're a tsundere.
But I am.
So, Will, what's your number 4 pick?
Number 4. This is where it starts to get a little bit spicy.
So number 5 wasn't spicy enough for you?
You like Fruits Basket?
Yeah, I love Fruits Basket. Wait, which one?
Kyoko Honda, man. The mom. The best mom in all the Fruits Basket. I know there are others.
It's kind of the only mom, really.
Right?
Let's be frank here.
Ah, man. We need to get around to watching the movie.
Yeah, the prelude one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there,
We'll get there. So, hey, who knows? Maybe after watching the movie, even
but
more
who's this character, Will?
So she is the mother of the main protagonist, Toru Honda, and also I think it's pretty safe to say because that's pretty much what the story starts off with. She's the late mother of Toru Honda.
Yes.
Right? So you're probably wondering then, right? Damn, she's not even around. She's passed away a while ago. Why is she even feature in this?
Why is she relevant?
And it's because the fact that a lot of this story is based on Toru, her upbringing, and her way of just essentially maturing and becoming an adult. That she still holds on to a lot of her memories or recollections of the interactions that she had with her mother, Kyoko. And funny enough as well, Kyoko's influence actually goes beyond just the upbringing of her own daughter, but also the people around her. Just very sweet, loving, caring, just like, what you would want to see in like the perfect role model, like as a mother. I
Well, she gave up the life that she was previously living in
Yep.
order to live the life that she was currently living. And it is a pretty large sacrifice, in my opinion, and a pretty dramatic shift as well.
Straight up, her mom kicks some ass, kicks a lot of ass.
Literally, yes.
But
And
then, decides, this is it. Like, I got to toughen up, not for the streets, but you got to toughen up for my daughter. And she gives up that past life and decides, you know what? If I'm going to be like the best in the streets, I'm also going to be the best for my daughter. And it was just so wholesome, so sweet. Like even though she's not even there, you constantly feel that there is that loving embrace emanating from her on Toru, and that's kind of how Toru carries herself as well. Like, yes, she's like still ditzy, klutzy, but at the same time, like, it's because of the fact that she had such a wonderful like mother figure, in her upbringing, that no matter like what happens, even when she's going through her life dealing with all the problems of the friends and the associates that she encounters, that she still finds ways to remain positive, remain upbeat, and a lot of that is just due to the influence of Kyoko.
also props to Toru Honda's like two other female classmates that are obviously in Honda's life when her mom was still alive, and including one of them has a special relationship with the mom.
Yep. Like, in essence, like, they kind of like took on the responsibility of not just being like Toru's closest friends, but also somewhat being like guardian angels,
Yeah,
watching over her as well.
absolutely.
Because of the fact that like they got to see what Kyoko was doing for Toru, and that influence was enough for them to be like, yo, like, we got to keep this up.
We got to protect her at all costs. I mean, I think literally at some point the two girls were like, we if fucking something happens to Toru, we're gonna fucking lay waste to everything on this planet. And then she's like, the other girl's like, yeah. Like, what? Is this even a question? Like, why are we having this discussion? It's useless. You gotta protect.
And that's like the extent of like the relationship that Kyoko has, not just on Toru, but literally the people around her. Like, they see how much of a good mother she is, so selfless and so caring, that it also changes the way they act around not just Toru but other people too. So I gotta give props to Kyoko Honda. Like, she makes top 4. I'm pretty happy with that choice.
Now, for the only mom on this list whose children is actually not her birth children, featuring probably one of the most recent sensations to grace this planet, has 2-part season 2 announced for 2023, a collab between Wit Studio and Cloverworks, manga published in English on Jump Plus Manga Plus, based on the manga of the same name by Tatsuya Endo. If you have not heard me repeat these couple of sentences over and over and time again, it is none other than Spy X Family. Your Forger is my number 3 pick for top 10 anime moms. There's just something about you not having... I mean, okay, listen. If it's your, like, birth, like, children, there is, like, this kind of unwritten obligation, or, like, kind of unwritten rule, obviously, that you are kind of obligated to take care of them or make sure that they're taken care of, right? But when it is of a surrogate, when it is adopted, or when, in this case, it is due to circumstances trying to hide the fact that you are a family, but you kind of are a family, it kind of gives you like it in a very what? How do I say this? It's kind of condescending to say that, but you get extra brownie points because you're working your ass off, and you don't have to do it, but you choose to do it anyways because you love one another. And if you happen to also be really bad at cooking, which is kind of a minus, but then you're just really cute. You're also really powerful. And you're just all around nice person that just so happens to be a really good assassin. You get your forger.
Yours great. Really great.
Yeah.
Didn't make my top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fuck, bro.
Well, you'll see why. The next three are like I really like Yor. I think that she is a very phenomenal mother figure and very protective of Anya. I mean, Anya, like anybody would protect her, but not to the extent that you would run faster than the cars that are on the road and kick windshields open just to be able to get your daughter back. God damn, like it's the amount of like
a surrogate daughter, technically.
Just daughter in this case. Why are you being so pedantic? Just
no, because she takes that shit seriously.
That just say daughter, mother. Like literally, I think at this point, it's like we understand, of course, the whole premise of them literally like playing parts in this whole scheme. There's a fake mother, a fake daughter, a fake dad. Well, the dog's real as fuck, but you know, like in the end, like it's. Like, I think they keep reminding, this is not my daughter, but she is my daughter, and I have to protect this gem. And
she debated killing so that her daughter can get into school. The fuck is that?
Well, I mean, that's also because of the fact that her primary occupation is an assassin.
Well, also, mom's got to do what mom's got to do. But damn,
you know,
like
crack some knuckles and get her daughter into the great school.
That's parental like commitment and dedication right there. So, also, she's kind of a ditz, but she's kind of cute. Really cute, actually.
Yeah, I think like the ditz part like plays well. I think in the end, like she's just a young adult woman who, like, you know, on the outside just is actually quite shy.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
Especially like in her like quote unquote day job. You know, like she's just seen as someone who just doesn't date, doesn't marry, doesn't get just doesn't get along with any male counterpart, and it's like the main goss in her office.
Yeah, and I just find it really funny that like she psychs herself out all the fucking time. Be like, no, but really, does it really? Kind of, maybe not, and stuff. And it's just because we all overthink, we all get paranoid. It's just extra cutesy when Yor does it, though. Yor Forger does it. It's just rock solid. Yeah. Excited for season 2.
Good pick. So, now we're into the end game for me, right? Top 3.
I started mine already.
You had a pretty strong pick, but unfortunately, when going up against these 3, it was kind of tough to even mention Forger.
Yeah.
I gotta go with Elizabeth Joestar.
Okay.
Also known as Lisa.
Okay.
A mom so kick-ass they named her twice.
I'm sure this is the first time I've heard that tagline used before. Yeah, what about her?
Snarky.
What about her?
You're just salty because you didn't have her on your list. Because she's fucking awesome. Kicks ass. I think she probably beat Yor Forger, actually.
She didn't make the list, bro.
Yeah, I'm saying.
And she's based off of a Street Fighter character that was my main Street Fighter character for Street Fighter 4.
But she's also based off of a real-life singer named Lisa.
True. It's like,
which is probably where the main inspiration's from.
I think both.
Araki's more sort of like music focused.
No, as in the character Rose was based off of Lisa.
Yeah. So influences beyond the manga and the anime itself
into video games. But yeah,
Lisa is fucking awesome, and she's hot. She's so hot, even her own son wants to bang her.
Well, until she found. Yes, technically true. That sentiment was technically expressed in the anime.
Yeah.
So, yes.
So, I mean, obviously you got to be, in top 3 for me. No, in general, it's just because, dude, she kicked Nazi ass. She fucking destroyed vampires. Strongest female protagonist in the game.
In the game?
Yeah. In the straight JoJo game, dude.
Okay, I see. Nice save. Good save.
What are you talking about?
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
What's say?
Lisa's good. Lisa's a great character.
Wow, you're being real snarky. God damn, what's wrong with you?
Nothing, bro.
What? Just because I didn't have your in my list?
Nah.
Right? Come on, man.
Nah.
Right?
That's not why I'm angry at you.
What? Angry? What, you were actually angry at me?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
But
see, this is where I told
just
you.
a little.
I told you. There's always going to be people who object to certain people's lists.
But just a little disappointed because my number 2 pick was Hana from Wolf Children. That's all. It's fine.
Why would that be disappointing?
No, because it was your number 5.
But I've already told you that my list doesn't actually have a ranking.
I understand. But she almost didn't make the list.
Yeah.
So.
But your Forger got out of the list because of her. And I would say that the ones I have on my list, I'm pretty happy where they are.
I mean, I'm pretty happy about my list too, and I'm sure a lot of people, including you, might have bones to pick with some of them. So it's fine. But as we went off a bit on Hana already, she is my number 2 pick.
But clearly, like you put thought into this by actually ranking them too, right? So
also to be fair, I think your Forger, Hana, and my number 1 pick was deliberate in that order.
Pretty sure. I think we both have the same number 1
because I don't really see how it could be anyone else. But yeah, let's just make sure when we get there that it's the exact same one.
Yeah, if it turns out to be wrong, goddamn,
fucking
tables will be flipped.
We need to pause the fucking recording and like compare notes again to see where we faltered on this. But anyways,
yeah. So but I understand, of course, it's like I already talked about Hana. We talked about Hana and all that too, right? But like the fact that you've had her as number 2, which like for you because you actually ranked them, that's fucking high acclaim. So what was it for Hana from Wolf Children that like literally set herself so far apart from everyone else that was below her?
I think it was due to the movie's portrayal of her journey as a mom, and that movie was directed in such a way that you can really see her progress to the person that she is at the end of that movie, and being content at that point at the very end of that movie. It's not the end of her life, but it is the end of that movie, and you can really see, even with abrupt ending, pacing issues of the ending aside, the fact that you look at her and you look at where she was at the beginning of that movie, and you cannot, at least I can't, feel anything else but proud and like emotional that she did it.
Yeah.
In many ways, she accomplished her goals. It's not the end of the road for her, but like she did it. I don't know how else to really say it.
I think as well, it's like, in terms of like the previous mothers that we talked about too, where they do go through like struggles, they do go through a lot of obstacles to be able to perform their duty as a mother. I think with the way that Hana is portrayed in the movie, it's just real shit. It's just real life shit. It's actually very easy for you and I. Okay, fine. We're never going to bear. We'll never bear wolf children, right?
Yes.
That part, of course, I'm not saying is a realistic part, but the fact that like you suddenly become widowed and you have to look after 2 children on your own in the big city where you don't know anybody, and then all of a sudden you decide to move to the countryside and start your life all over again. But by starting all over again, you're also starting to be a mother for the first time too, and to balance those 2 things together, like. And she still manages to raise them. Fuck, dude.
Yeah, and I think like all the other moms that I picked and that Will picked, where the moms were kind of thrusted in this situation that they had to basically woman up and be the parental figure, be the mom. This Wolf Children movie showed, that was the whole movie, showing all of it. Whereas other ones was like either parts of it, not saying that they were insignificant, but here it was pretty much 100%. This is Hana's journey from beginning to end. I know it's called Wolf Children, but really it's about Hana.
And literally any situation that she had encountered, I would wager that like any of the mothers or so-called mothers in our list, if they encountered those situations, they crumble.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be able to, fester up the courage and the optimism to keep carrying forward. But no matter like what dice are thrown or like how much shit's thrown on her
or what card she's dealt, she just does it. She just like, fine.
because she has to.
She has to.
It's her duty, and she sticks by it, which is like phenomenal.
Yeah, and because I don't see all the other stuff that happened with all these other moms on the list. Not
to say, of course, it's like they have to do those things in order to be comparable to Hana, but it's just
but we saw it in the movie. We saw it in the
right?
movie. So
Hana did it. So
we saw the parts that she faltered to get to where she was at. So that was it. That's my number 2 pick.
yeah, very very good pick. I think, like, of course, if I actually had spent time like rearranging the orders and all that, who knows? Maybe like one mother would be on top of the other and all that. But that's the way it goes on my side. So number 2 for me, oh man, probably the most attractive of the list for me, comes from Ranking of Kings.
Comes from
Ranking of Kings.
Mm-hmm.
You see, when 2 adults, come together.
Wait, we're adults?
Maybe not by brain age, but
maybe not by brain age, because goddamn.
So back on Ranking of Kings,
Hilda?
Queen Hilling.
It's not called Hilda.
Hilling,
Okay, no. To be fair, I'm less acquainted with Ranking of Kings. I just remember it was H.I. something. So, Hilda? It's her.
It's Queen Hilling.
Okay. Sorry.
It's funny because she's a healer. So, healing.
Was that really intentional?
Come on, man. Most of the time with these kinds of names, you would imagine that the writer was like, that's the big brain there. That's what we're gonna call her.
That's the ridged brain, right? Not the smooth brain, right?
Ribbed, yeah. But
she is actually a legit. Oh fuck! I forgot about her. Shit.
She is so hot. God, her and her pointy nose.
I don't. No.
This is probably like the one other one, which is like, this is a bit more on like the
milfy side.
The milfy side. But at the same time, no, like this, she's also like a very, like, the thing I liked most about her, and I think you might agree as well, is when you first like encounter her.
Okay,
as
try
a
not
character,
to spoil because I have not finished it.
She comes off as like a real bitch.
Yeah.
She's just straight asshole, and it's because of the relationship.
She's the wicked stepmother, man.
Yeah, and that's and that you talked about like your being like a surrogate mother, and like even then she still has unconditional love for Anya as if it was her own her own blood, right? In this instance, because of the fact that there is absolutely no relation between them two, other than the fact that Boji is the son of her now deceased husband. That what happens in the beginning of the movie and then in the beginning of the series. She just decides to be cold and distant. She just does not want anything to do with him because, well, he's deaf, doesn't speak, just is not fit to be next in line for the throne. But her own biological son, who is
a
stoic,
prodigy, right?
Right, stoic, strong,
can do everything, right?
Well-mannered. He should be the one to take the throne. But as the story starts developing, and this is the part where I'm not going to say anything else because that would just be spoiled. And
I think
this one I will not spoil because, damn, like it only came out like in the last year. So
what I will say is, what may seem like something can be in reality something else completely. That's all I'll just say.
I think the character design was perfect too because it's like the way that she looks. You look at her and be like, wow, you are a callous bitch. Like you are awful. You're evil.
I teared up at certain spots. Let's just say, very, very much. Just
when you start seeing her true colors and what she actually is as a mother to Boji, and also just her own children in general, right? Like, and she's so hot. I'll stop finding over
number 2 good mom pick. Very good. I feel bad. I forgot.
But even if you remembered though, would she have fit in top 10? Would she have squeezed in?
I think
somehow?
Here's the thing. The problem is because I didn't finish all of. I was like 3/4 past Ranking of Kings. I'm pretty sure that there will be things that I would have watched and then would have definitely convinced me otherwise. But I guess it was just one of those rules where like I wasn't sure,
and so therefore it's just better to leave it, right?
Right.
I get that. I completely get that.
But when you said.
I mean, that's also part of the reason why you didn't have Lisa in your list, right? Because you're only like halfway through the whole saga that is JoJo.
But I have to say that was a very good pick. Wow, I actually completely forgot. She would have been on the list, but maybe not top 5, but she would have been on that list, and only because not in like the top 4 or 3 because I didn't finish it yet. So very good pick, Will. So we have gone through all 9 of our top 10 anime moms.
So funny enough, before we got into the break, we did say like, oh, there's probably going to be like 2, maybe 3 that will cross over in the top 5. So we had Hana that crossed over, right? Because you and I both had Hana. You and I both had Clara Magnolia.
But I didn't count Clara at that time.
Yeah,
at the break, I said Clara was a given.
Yeah, but so far, like it's been quite varied. Like
it's only one so far.
Yeah, I think this is the one where for sure you and I have the exact same character for best mom.
This mother is from a manga series.
Wait. Let's say the manga series together, right?
Wait. The English one?
English.
Wait,
on 3, 2, 1. Duh. Okay.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Erased. There we go.
Yes.
So based
I
off,
was so scared if we got.
I was really scared especially when you said like earlier, you were like, "But what if we don't get?" I was like, "No, don't do this, fucking Will. Don't fucking do this."
I think we pretty much wrote this whole list together separately.
Just so that we can put her on the number 1 list. At least that's what I thought.
This is it. We both get to shill for Sachiko.
Yeah.
Erased. Do you have
Fujinuma.
Yeah.
From Erased, also known as Boku Dake ga Inai Machi, based off of the manga series of the same name by Kei Sanbe, who did the story and the art. Manga is completed with 7 volumes, 49 chapters. The manga is published in English as Erased by Yen Press since February 2017. The anime, which is finished and completed, by the way, so there is no like second season, or thank God that there won't be. There shouldn't be. The anime premiered in winter 2016, produced by A1 Pictures. We're giving the full credit because this is an amazing mom.
It looks, and also, I mean, A1 Pictures too.
Come on.
What more do you want? This is the best mom in all of anime.
Whatever you say about the manga adaptation and the anime adaptation, I can even give that to you, no problem. If you want to say like certain plot elements or certain characters, whatever, fine, okay? But let's just give a shout out to the Fujinuma Oka-sans.
It's gonna like, you literally have to fight us to find a mom even better than Sachiko.
If you have not seen Erased, and the fact that we have just announced our number 1 pick in unison almost, I feel that we should not spoil, just so that if you are curious, you should check it out. But I think that earlier when Will said when others would encounter, like other mothers or parental figures encounter the same equivalent situation and they would crumble, I think pretty much anyone I know that goes through what happened in Erased for the mom would just crumble, period.
I think like in terms of like the hallmarks of a good mother in anime, like the 3 words that usually come up are like loving, caring, and like just
like protective, maybe. Yeah.
The one quality that she has that separates her from the rest of them though is dedication. Like straight up, like that's as far as I can say without spoiling anything.
Now, we're not trying to say that other fictional 2D anime moms do not bear the same characteristics, or that real life mothers do not have the same level of dedication and love and affection. No. But this is an extremely good example of, in my mind, and confirmed by Will as well, how ideal of an anime mom she is. She is extremely smart. She is very attuned and sensitive to kind of getting like a sixth sense almost. She is very aware of the situation that she's in, and she does so many things that I think are just straight up like badass mom OG gangsta mom, and I don't mean it in like a hood sense. I mean it in like she's just straight up
MVP.
Like if you check under,
she's the GOAT.
if you grab the GAP dictionary, which we have a lot of definitions, and you go under anime mom,
Man, we should start publishing that soon.
We should publish it. We should start earning some dough for that. Her picture would be under anime mom.
Would our dictionary have pictures? Should we? We could just have a whole... Yeah, actually, why not? Why not? Yeah, let's have pictures in our
We make the
dictionary.
fucking rules.
Yeah, why not?
Wait, does anime and manga involve images?
Damn, are we
I
gonna...
know dictionaries also involve words.
That's gonna be a thick-ass fucking, like, dictionary. Oh,
and
man.
she's thick as fuck. I'm just kidding.
No, she's...
Yeah, she is.
She hot. She hot. She great for...
That lips, though, is a bit.
Really?
It's a bit.
It's
a bit.
I like them lips.
And that wraps up our top 10 list.
It does
Holy
not.
shit.
It does not.
No, that wraps up our top 10 list.
Are we done on Sachiko already? Man, I thought we were gonna go a bit more on her.
Well, we can't really spoil it, right? To be honest, and
fair,
when we lavish so much praise already, without going into spoilers, it's kind of meaningless in a sense, right? Like we're beating a dead horse in that sense. You definitely can go on and have the last word.
The last thing I want to say then would be, this is a woman that I think, above all the others, is fearless in a life and death situation. There are others that probably would be able to put up a good fight, but like, no, this person, that's what I meant to like her extent of dedication. Like she would put herself in that deep end to be able to, maintain her role, her duty as a mother, and like just nothing else. Like she's just number one OG MVP GOAT.
So
no debate for our side.
No, I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm just going to be very cryptic. So the main male character, something happens to him, and due to the dedication of his mother, okay, when there should not have been hope. Like, I'll be honest. I'll be straight. Like, in that situation, it was, in many ways, a fool's errand.
Just game over. Like, why are you even... Like, you're beating a dead horse
like,
at this point.
any normal person, in my mind, any rational person would have just been like, just forget it.
They would have run out of steam. They would have not had the patience and the dedication to keep going anymore. They would just have felt this is futile.
But no. The mom in Erased fucking did not lose hope, did not give up. And here's the best part. The moment that all her efforts bore fruit, she didn't really go crazy in terms of happiness and everything. She just played it somewhat cool. She still showed...
She's just a straight up cool ass mom.
She was just like...
That's it.
Yo...
how's it going?
How's it going? What's up?
Oh, cool. All right. See ya.
and then go behind closed doors and start sobbing like it's raining. But hey, badass.
Damn. I could rewatch Erased again. That was a really good series.
I mean, this is the GAP bros hot take, is that I don't think Erased, the anime, is as bad as people say it is.
I think the main reason why is because, in comparison to the
hella spoilers, but yes.
In comparison to the manga, that's literally it.
Also, another thing is that Fujinuma Oka-sans is responsible for probably one of the most emotional breakfasts I have ever seen, ever in an anime, without any shadow of exaggeration or doubt. Like, I don't even know how is it possible for breakfast to be that teary-eyed in your...
It's her smile, dude. Her smile. That sweet smile.
It's just...
And I get that, too. It's not like she plays off that cool exterior. No, it literally... She's just, does not break a sweat. Always calm. Just, she just looks at you, and you feel safe. Right? She gives you that loving embrace just by her smiling and looking at you. God,
she doesn't lose her cool, but she also actually still has emotions. I know this sounds kind of weird, but it really is like that. It's like, I'm still human, but I'll try my best to not act out, because the moment I act out is when things start becoming unraveled. And if I don't keep it together, everyone else is going to come unraveled as well. But what is not unraveled and what is on lock is her. And I will say it again. Sachiko Fujinuma is the top 1 GOAT anime mom for the GAP Rose Rumble. And that concludes our top 10 list. But, Will, do you want to do any honorable mentions? Maybe 1 or 2?
I think one that we talked about off air, and like when I mentioned that, like I was taking her off the list. Zenith Greyrat from
Jobless Reincarnation, Mushoku Tensei. Yeah. Again, because that anime is so new, I don't think we should mention too much into spoilers. But I do think she's not only a MILF, but she is also a very good mom. That due to certain situations, when she could have, let's say, been a not so great person, especially in the first season, and she in many ways has every right to do what she could have done and chose not to, that's when you know that she's a real mom and like a very understanding of the situation and predicament, right? Do you know what I'm roughly trying to allude to?
No, I get it.
And I think that's props, and that takes guts, honestly. I would say I have a lot of honorable mentions. I would just mention 2 real quick. Mami Hori from Horimiya, Yuriko Hori. She has a relatively minor role in the anime and plays this very fluffy kind of mom. Let's just say that in the manga, they expand on her present person as well as her past a bit. And in the manga, she has an extra level of depth that you won't see in the anime, which is unfortunate. But she's a very good mom in general. But I would say the mom with the least amount of screen time, but with the highest amount of impact per minute or per second or per panel, is from Blue Period, Marie Yaguchi. Because she is the mom that eventually convinces her son to go back to art school. And there is a scene that is very, very early on in the manga and very, very early on in the anime that I think was done superbly and was just a very good encapsulation of a mom being a very good and understanding mom.
One honorable mention that I have, and to be honest, like it is quite a controversial one.
Yeah.
You watched Promised Neverland, right?
I know what you're gonna say.
Isabella.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously it's like, again with the caveat, because none of those are her children. But
also heavy spoilers potentially as well. But
I mean, like she works in an orphanage, right?
And she is kind of there's a cat and mouse game, mind games being played in all of season 1.
And like I just like the way her character developed, but at the same time, like I understand that a lot of the stuff that she does, throughout the series
might be unforgivable, but at least as understandable, I guess, to a certain degree.
Right?
Yeah, I think so. Surprisingly, Will, almost all, maybe barring 1 or 2 of my top 10 picks have been very parental,
wholesome,
maternal, affectionate. But I would let you know that there is a hidden list
of what moms you would bang.
If you reverse this docket, this digital docket, there is a bunch of just
anime moms you would,
of just degenerate moms and degenerate pics of moms. So
you can check that out in another AD, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess you will never know until you know. But that ain't today.
I think that pretty much wraps it up then, right? I think, I've got other ones, like Jessica Randy from Banana Fish. I've got Kurumi from Disastrous Life of Psyche K, but...
Yeah, I mean, no, it might as well. I mean, we have time, right?
No, it's just that...
No, like, for real, though.
I just liked Kurumi because she's a ditzy mom. but also Karen.
From Banana Fish?
No. Jessica Randy from Banana Fish. That one, she's cold blooded. Fucking like, just fucking kill you.
So she's one of the only female characters in all of Banana Fish, basically.
Pretty much.
Okay.
But I mean, like, it makes sense, with Banana Fish being a very, very like male centric cast. Just watch the series. I really like Banana Fish. I know it's not always like going to be like everyone's cup of tea, but I think it's worth a watch for sure.
Oh, since we are wrapping up on honorable mentions and the episode, I feel the need to at least mention one MILF that did not make the cut and will never make the cut, but everyone obsesses about it. So if you've heard of the show Do You Love Your Mom and her 2-hit multi-target attacks, Mamako Osuki. Listen, she does her pouty face. It's a very well-known anime meme now. Sure.
If you like MILF Isekai, then you like MILF Isekai.
It's literally called MILF Isekai. So what do you want, right? I totally get it. I thought that for me, it just wasn't too strong of a choice to pick. And also, it's too obvious of a pick for me. Not saying it's a wrong pick or anything. It's just too obvious for me.
I gotta say, I think the one pick that kind of surprised me from your side was Android 18. I did not expect you to have anything Dragon Ball at all. I don't know.
Because she's a kudere.
Well, I think it's just because like it's not that I never really hear you talk about Dragon Ball. It's just I didn't see that. But when you explain it that way, being a kudere mom, okay, yeah, no, that checks out.
I think Android 18 was one of those characters that really was in the very early days of Jason's anime history. So it's kind of left a mark, let's just say, right? And she really does become more than just a kudere or an android. She actually becomes an actual well-developed character.
Yeah, in the process of putting together this list, of course, I was just looking around. It's like, what do other people feel like are their top anime moms?
Yeah, you want to get into some of those picks? Because, like, obviously it's not too hard to Google top 10 anime moms and see what other people have to say.
The one that kept on popping up was Delia Ketchum, Ash's mom.
I don't really remember much about her.
It's just, I mean, every time he goes and is a little adventure.
So just because he's the best that ever was, so then she's the best mom, the best that ever was?
I suppose. And also because, she's constantly getting porked by Professor Oak, allegedly.
Yeah.
That's been, that was like the observation I saw. It's like, what the fuck are people talking about? Why? Like, okay.
Also, do you like Naruto's mom?
Yeah, I guess, but at the same time, it was like a lot more of the focus was put on his dad.
Yeah, and I thought the mom just wasn't that good. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad character, obviously, but it just wasn't that great of a character in my mind, right? So, Will, there were 2 picks that I purposely did not include in any capacity, but since I just remembered, I might as well tell you. Let's say that there is a very well-known parent that dies in the earlier parts of Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh.
I wanted to include her as a troll pick, but it's like a half-half, like a half genuine, half trolly. The other one was because I didn't have enough, which was Thorfinn's mom. I did not have enough for me to put her on the list.
There's not enough going off for her either. I wouldn't have put her on the list either.
But I mean, she seems, at least from what I saw, to at least be like, oh yeah, you have really like strong, both in terms of physical strength and resilience. Seems like it would work out, right? But I didn't watch enough or have enough evidence for me to put on the list comparatively to everyone else. So that's all I've got for the time being. Stay tuned for next year's Valentine's when we go over this next Rose Rumble. Obviously, we'll figure something out. Probably we might even have another one in between there sometime. I don't know. We'll see, right?
We'll have to see.
Anything you want to ask, Will, before I go into show notes or say?
Not really. I'm just looking at like other people's top 10 lists. There are people who are making an argument for Carla Yeager from Attack on Titan.
Well, while you go see what everyone is saying is their favorite anime mom, you can hear me do the housekeeping because I am the podcast mom here. You can always reach us through our email, gapalette@gmail.com. That is GAPALETTE@gmail.com, all lowercase, all one word. You can also use the handle @PaletteGood. That's capital P and capital G, all one word. Thank you to our new followers. I can't remember the several of you on the top of my head, but thank you for adding us and checking in on us. We added you and followed you back. We should be in contact and chat, see what's up. You can also, if you want to, also join our GAP Discord. We are trying to be more active on that front as well as on Twitter and on the website for that matter, which I will give you right now, is www.goodanimepalette.com, all lowercase, all one word. Music credits for this episode. For the first time in a long time, we finally have music credits for After Dark. Our intro music for this After Dark is 3XQ by Baron Grand. We do have a break music, which is Bottai by Ooyy. And our outro music is I Don't Mind, the instrumental version by Particle House. You can support the music artists that we feature by listening to them on Spotify, Apple Music, or other various music listening platforms. And our royalty-free music was provided by Epidemic Sound. And if you're interested in using their services, you can sign up using our referral link in the show description. Terms and conditions apply. All right, well, what has your report and research surfaced?
Well, for the most part, some of them are like usual suspects. There's ones that are calling for Chi-Chi from Dragon Ball Z, the mother of...
Wait. As in like Vegeta's wife?
The mother... excuse me. The mother of Goten.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, no, but I know which one you're talking about. There's a really fucked up pick.
Bulma is the one I was thinking about.
Yeah,
sorry.
That's the other one that was also on the list. There's a lot of Dragon Ball ones. Belmir from One Piece.
I wouldn't know. Sorry.
It's okay. To be fair, she is a kick-ass mom.
Like no offense there. Like I actually don't know.
There's one that is incredibly spoiler. I'm not gonna say it, but I'll show it to you. It's actually a really fucked up pick.
I don't like that pick personally.
It's fucked up. It's really fucked up.
No, because that goes against actually everything that we have been talking up to this point.
We're not going to say anything because we don't want to spoil anything.
We don't want to advocate for this pick whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else that stands out? I'm surprised. We mentioned One Piece in this episode. You mentioned Naruto several times this episode.
There's also a
no one from Bleach though.
There was one. I need to pull that one up again. But yeah, I mean, yeah, from the big three, there was a Bleach pick. Just need to pull up her name. Her name is okay.
Yeah.
Yui Ikari from Evangelion was also there too. But honestly, no, that's just a fucked up anime.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about as like, because here's the thing, Will. There, I think, are a lot of good motherly choices that are from the genre of slice of life. The problem with that is that usually when they are good slice of life moms, there is nothing particularly that stands out, but nothing that is of warning signs either. It's just like very plain, like simple, chilled out, comfy mom, right? And like for example, there was one that was coming to mind that was from a slice of life. I mean, there's plenty really. That was like kind of comedic, also kind of hot. They play up that angle, but there just wasn't anything like interesting that I can be like, oh yeah, legit solid mom right here. But yeah, Will, are you just gonna?
Yeah, I found the Bleach pick.
Is it a spoiler?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's just.
Well, let me see.
It's Ichiko's mom, but like you need to actually watch the
to
whole
really
series.
know.
Yeah.
I don't even remember her.
There were a lot of people from. Okay, there's like
We're doing this
Yamamoko
live,
Suki.
so there you go.
Yeah, there's also Tsuki Uzaki from Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out, which I'm not watching.
I'm not watching that.
Apparently, the mom in Dororo is there too, but I don't really remember her at all.
I don't remember her either. I thought the mom. What?
There was also Emma Spring from Astro Lost in Space.
Yeah, I mean, she's a rock solid mom, but she wasn't. I don't know about that one either.
Her impact was nowhere near as noticed, compared to the other ones that we've listed.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's not to demean her or anything. It's a tough list.
Hey, it's hard being a mom, and it's also hard to be on any GAP top 10 list.
Oh, what about Yoshie Hanabatake, the mother in Aho Girl? That also made a top 10 list.
I have to say that's a pretty good pick. That's the best pick that was made of the ones that you mentioned.
Right. So, hey, I mean, again, like it's a tough list, but everybody has their own criteria, their own ways of putting together. If people do decide to put these lists together themselves, well, I don't know. Why don't you guys put together your own top 10 lists, share it with us, and then we can
yeah,
talk about it.
And equal fairness and treatment, listeners, do not fret. We will definitely have top 10 anime dads.
Best boys and husbandos.
I can guarantee you spoiler alert, the father from Sheltered, the music video, is going to show up in some capacity. You better best...
That counts?
You better best fucking believe it. If fucking... Okay, spoiler alert for one of my work colleagues. I don't think she will ever listen to this episode. Maybe, I don't know, actually. She bought tickets for Porter Robinson.
Okay.
In Taipei.
Cool. Awesome.
And I was like, why Taipei? It was like, because going to Japan was too expensive. And when I heard that statement, I had to do a double take. I'm like, you're telling me that, okay, money is obviously a factor. But Porter Robinson in Japan, though. In Japan, though, Kyoto.
To be fair, Taipei is also quite weeb, but
No, I get. I'm not trying to say anything about our friends and colleagues that are in Taiwan. We actually do have some friends, but
you would imagine that like the most weeb DJ producer there is,
you would go to Japan. Am I wrong in that assessment?
To be fair, though,
but I'm not the one going. I'm not the one paying.
It might
right?
actually have been just super expensive.
It probably is.
That's
no. It is. She said as such.
But that's a fun time. I mean, I saw Porter Robinson when he was in Jakarta, and that was wow.
I don't like going to concerts.
You probably would have enjoyed seeing this though. Maybe not in the crowd itself, but like the display and the animations he was using. There were a lot of weebs there. There was a lot of cosplay. I mean, it was a music festival.
I believe
too.
it.
It was a music festival, but like there were so many other artists, but there were people you knew that just went there just to see Porter Robinson.
Hey, you watched Anohana and then was like, yo, I want A1 Pictures to fucking do my music video, and that's your reason? That's legit as fuck. That's all I gotta say.
My guy literally is like, I cried so much watching this series. Can you please make a music video for me where I make other people cry? Yeah, no worries. Dude, we got you.
I just like it how they were just like, the execs are like, oh, okay, so you're this up-and-coming DJ, so what are you envisioning for the music video? And they're like, so do you guys want to know about the April flowers? And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about, Porter Robinson? And they're like, no, hear me out. So A1 Pictures, what, the sauce? It's like, no, not that sauce, but yes, like the sauce is, I'm just going to keep going until we end this recording. But, yeah, then they were like, why, though? But who gives a shit about weebs? And then he was like, well, if you understand several years into the future, anime would be so popular that it would be number one on the U.S. Billboard charts for SIM Rumbling. Huh? Well, let me tell you something. The anime is going to come back with a banger of mammoth, titanic proportions. Will, why aren't you pressing stop? Because I'm just going to keep on having this monologue.
The music video currently has 73 million views.
Shelter, right?
Yeah.
What is Medion up to these days?
He's still doing his own thing. But man, I might rewatch his video again. Anyways, I think
Did Porter Robinson release new music videos that are anime centric, right?
Yeah, he did another one as well.
I forgot. I remember I watched it. I just don't. It wasn't as obviously.
But it's Shelter. It's so hard to like top that. It's a fucking amazing song, an amazing music video too. But yeah, we kind of derailed a bit. We don't need to talk about Porter Robinson anymore. I think this is a good time to thank you for listening to our top 10 list for best anime moms
and our tirades for the past 10 minutes or so.
Yeah. So if you like anime moms, or if you like Porter Robinson,
or if you like After Darks,
yeah, share this episode with your friends, because we're going to be planning to do a lot more of these. And of course, as Jason already said, we're not just looking into the women, we're also looking into the men as well. So if you are keen to check out our top picks for husbandos, best boys, dads, and all, just wait. We will have those for you ready.
So, yeah, I think that's pretty good, right? Wasn't that great, guys? Right?